Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I apologize a lot for not uploading too much lately. I've been very busy in real life and had a lot of things to do, and it's just been a lot, so I really apologize about that. But you can thank my one friend that I talk with daily. He really encouraged me to make this video. This video is gonna be a little bit easier to edit. It's gonna be a story time. Don't click off just yet, but it's gonna be story time, and I think you guys will really like it. It's something that has gone in my family. We've talked about it a lot throughout the years, and since you guys are my family, why not share it with you guys as well? So that's what today's video is about, and I hope you don't mind the change of topic. It's just a bit easier for me to just sit here, talk to you guys, and I hope to entertain some of you at least. And I hope you can grab some snack, just lay back and enjoy the video. Let me know in the comments what you think about this sort of topic. So let's just jump straight into it, guys. This story takes place from 1st to 6th grade in elementary school. And it's based around this lady. Let's just call her by Eva right now. I don't want to intrude her privacy or anything. She's in her 50s. She's a little bit obese and she has one of her knees damaged and had to support her leg with a stick or something. You know what I mean? Yeah, and this adds to the story later on. That's why I'm telling you guys this right now. So at first, she was just another caretaker on the school. She worked everywhere. She took care of the bus cards. She took over when someone was sick. They called her in and she would take care of the class. And she was kind of all over the place. Yeah, but everything seemed to be working just fine with her. I didn't have any troubles with her or anything like that. But things took a turn when I reached 2nd year in elementary school. I reached one of the lowest points in my life and I felt really awful. I just had a really bad period in my life. You can ask any of my friends about it. They know all about it. So I had to take my parents with me to school because I didn't feel good and they would support me by coming with me to school. This is where things started to get a bit weird with this lady Eva. My dad would come with me to school and my mom as well. But I honestly think my dad had more issues with Eva than my mom. That's why I'm talking from his perspective right now. So Eva, she would always my dad would be sitting in another room next to the classroom to be close to me and help me out. And Eva would always come and disturb him, and she would want him move rooms and such. It was just the most ridiculous things ever, and it didn't make any sense. At the time I didn't quite understand what was going on. I just understood she was a bit weird. But my dad had his reasons not to like her that much, and time goes by and I wake up this one morning, I do my normal morning routines and I eat breakfast. And then my parents would always take me and my brother to school before school started because they would be working very early. And our school had this pre-care where they took care of us before school started and gave us breakfast and we just hung out. That happened, I started school, I had a few classes, and then one of my friends he loved drawing and such. I could never draw as well as he did. But yeah, one of my best friends there, he drew a really nice Donald Duck painting that I looked at, and I was so inspired by him. I was oh wow, that's really good. And I wish that I could draw that well. He was so kind to give it to me. He gave me his drawing and I couldn't believe my eyes. I couldn't believe that he actually gave me his drawing, and I was so happy. But it was time for me to go with this lady Eva that took care of me and a few other students that had issues with school and needed some extra care. And then Eva comes to my desk. She comes to me to get me to go to this other classroom where we usually hang out during this time where she helped us out. And she just looked down at my desk, and I was wondering why she looked so much. And I was asking myself aren't we just gonna go, or is there anything wrong? And she just looks at me and tells me that you cannot bring that painting with you or drawing with you. And I'm what do you mean? And she's no, you just can't bring it with you at all. You have to leave it there. It's not allowed to take drawings with you at all. I'm just so confused. Imagine when you're in 2nd grade and your teacher just tells you that you can't bring what made you have comfort going to school and everything. This one painting was so important to me. She didn't understand that at all. I just looked at her and I told her straight in her face no way, I'm gonna bring this with me. I was determined I would not give her my painting, and I would definitely not leave it in the classroom. And she would just go, oh well, guess I have to take it from you. So she tried to take the painting or drawing from from me as a 8-year-old or 7-year-old kid. Imagine that, your teacher trying to take your painting. And as a kid, I was very energized, and I wouldn't, like, if I had my mind set to something, I would do it. So she just runs around. Imagine the entire class looking at me and her. Everyone was sitting there studying, and she just ran around the tables. We had like these 4 tables with classmates sitting next to each other. So we had like these groups in the classroom, like these aisles. And she goes after me, and I'm so much faster than her, and she has her knee damaged and everything. She can't run. And I'm just, energized as hell, running around there, like, for my life, trying to get this drawing with me to class. And she can't catch up with me. And then I just, like, dodge her under the tables and just run away. And everyone starts laughing. Like, it was ridiculous. Yeah, and then I run like this. There's, like, this long corridor going to that classroom that we're actually gonna go to, me and the other few students. And I just run there before her. And the other kids that were going with me in there, they were standing by the door. And I just came to them, and I'm like, Eva, she does not want me to have this painting with me or drawing with me into the class. But I escaped her, and I think I'm good now, And Eva just comes out to the corridor, and I'm so, like, scared that she will take my drawing still. She comes up to me, she looks me in the eyes, and she's like, okay, you win. And I'm like, yes, I'm so happy. I just can't understand why she would do that to a kid, but yeah, that's just the start of the story. This lady Eva, she, a few years later, had still her issues and everything with the students and the parents as well. So she would just go on in like 3rd or 4th grade. She would just go on and call my dad at work and be like, yo, Tim is having issues at school. Like, he and his best friend, they are, like, arguing, and they just get, like, going down right now. Like, you have to come here right now. And my dad would, like, not understand, like, what is going on. Like, this does not sound like my boy, This doesn't sound like his friend either. Like, they're good friends, and they wouldn't do that. Like, are you for sure? And she's like, yeah, I'm for sure. And so he's, like, calling me, and he's, like, asking me on my, like, very old school phone that I had back in the day that they gave me to, communicate with people, I suppose. I'm like, yo, dad, there's nothing going on. Like, it's totally fine. I don't understand why she's acting like that. Like, everything is good. And my dad would stay at his work, and then at home we just talked about it. And, it's one of these old moments where she called for nothing. Like, yeah. And time flies by again, and so my parents get divorced, and my dad is living in an apartment by himself, and she takes care of me and my brother, like, part-time. And when we're at this place, we need to, go to school and such, but he lived, like, 10 kilometers from school, and it was quite not a long drive, but we would have to take the bus to school, and they went, there wasn't a lot of buses going there, so we just had to take the early bus since, my dad was starting early and he had to leave home. So we had also to leave home a bit earlier than school started. So we would go to school early to get breakfast and everything. And it was all good. Till this one day where she calls my dad at work and she just goes, yo, so we have to talk. And my dad's like, what is this? What is it about? Is it like my son again in school? And then she goes like, no, it's the bus rides to school. And he's like, what about them? So basically, as I told you in the beginning, she takes care of the bus cards and everything. And she really keeps track on what's happening. Yeah, when I said I really mean it. Like, so this lady Eva, she has gone through our histories of going to school and such. So for weeks we went to school. It wasn't even often, it was like once every second week, like for 2 days or something that we was at my dad's place. She went, I'm gonna send you a receipt of how much money you have to pay for me and then my brother as well going to school as we did. And he went, why is that? They have school bus cards and they're just going to school. And then she's like, yeah, but the thing is that they are abusing their cards. And my dad was like, what? Or going where they shouldn't and such. And she's like, yeah, they are going and taking the bus that goes earlier than the necessary bus to get to school when it starts. And my dad is just, he can't believe what he hears. So Eva means that just because me and my brother are going to pre-care in school, we have to pay our own money to get to school. And this is ridiculous because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't change the costs or anything. It's just the same drive to school, but it's just that it's an hour earlier. And that's because my dad starts early, and a lot of other kids also went to school as early as we did. And my dad just gets furious. Like, I remember him talking about it at home, talking about it with my mom and everything. And then finally, like, this one day, he just paid her. Like, he just couldn't take it anymore. Like, she's just too obsessed with everything, with the school cards and everything. Yeah, so he pays the fee, and from that point forwards, he had to pay the bus cards for us to go to school with his own money instead of just the school. They give every kid on the school bus cards, and what are you supposed to do with the bus card? You're supposed to get to school. That's the purpose of it, and home. But apparently for Eva it was not okay to go an hour earlier, and that's just ridiculous in my eyes. And she just doesn't give any fucks whatsoever when it comes to the kids that went to school. I just feel so bad for, you know, me and my brother and my dad as well having to go through this, and I'm sure she did this to a lot of people. Time goes by, and actually when I tell you that she's probably doing this to other kids, I mean it, because a few years later in 5th grade, me and my best friend, we hang out, right? And she called his parents or him at home, and she sounded very urgent and like serious about it. And his parents were, of course, worried, like, what's going on? So apparently she had done research. She told me that his house, at the time, he basically lived closer to school earlier and didn't need a bus card, but he got the bus card for like a year or so, like maybe 2 years, that he had used to get to his house. Because he moved house to like a bit outside. And when I tell you this, like, he really needed a bus card. Like, it was quite far away from school, and it was no problem. Like, I totally see why he would need a bus card to get home and back to school. But yeah, so Eva calls his parents and tells them that he can't have his bus card anymore, and they just don't understand why. And he didn't go to pre-care at that time as I did. He just went the normal times as he should. So he couldn't really understand what the issue was. But apparently she had done research that his house was located around 5 meters from the border of the school property. Like, you had to live a certain amount of distance from school to be able to get this bus card for free. And that is just absurd, that someone is actually doing research on your house with a 5 meter distance. So she cancels his bus card, and my friend has to go to school for 2 more years without the bus card. Luckily his like bus driver, she never really looked at, she only looked once at the kids like cards and such, you know, when she first met them, and luckily he had that bus driver forwards for those 2 years, I believe, and he escaped by that and just went without the bus card. But in my opinion, that is ridiculous, and to this day I still don't understand why you would do such a thing to kids, like, or anyone for that matter. Yeah, that's pretty much the end of the story, but I just wanted to share this story to you guys because it's something that me and my friends talk about a lot, and we have made a lot of jokes about this. I'm not sure if this is an entertaining story at all, but it's definitely something that I have been going through and something I find quite interesting. So yeah, if you enjoyed this story, let me know in the comments, and the moral of the story is that don't be like Eva, just be nice to others and don't use your anger and personal issues on anyone, and especially not kids. I hope to see you guys in the next video, and I hope this was not too bad of a video. I'm sorry if it was a bit odd, a bit boring to watch, but yeah, let me know in the comments. As I said, I'll see you guys in the next video, and as always, smile and wave, boys.
At first I said that I love you when you ain't say that shit back. It's kinda hard to just trust you when both your feelings don't match. Got me showing less emotions, I don't wanna get attached. Once I give you my word, I swear it ain't no going back. Once I give you my heart, you better keep that shit intact. Instead of assuming the worst, girl, I'm just here stating facts. You want me to take you back?